Hi everyone, my name is Kartik and my channel is about mental models. Welcome to my 9th video in this cognitive bias mini-series. In this video I will be talking about the fundamental attribution error. Cognitive bias. We looked at this bias previously in the Hanlon's razor video, and it also came up in the self-serving bias 1-2. So self-serving bias and Hanlon's razor, and now we're going to look at it as a cognitive bias. So there are a few connections. Fundamental attribution error is where people underestimate the influence of environment-based situational factors and overestimate the influence of personality-based factors on someone's behaviour. So underestimate environment-based situational factors and overestimate personality-based factors. So I will go through the same example as I explained previously. A child is performing in their school play. That's the school, that's the stage, that's the child. And the performance is due to start at 7 p.m. and their parents are both due to attend the performance. That's the parents. Both parents work in office-based jobs. One of them has taken the afternoon off to run a few errands and so that they can also see the performance. The other parent is working on the day and they will finish at 5 p.m. and then from the office they will drive directly to the school, arriving at 7 p.m. to see the play. They also confirmed during the day that they will be there at 7 p.m. so there are no unforeseen delays. The parent in question likes their job very much and is a workaholic. They often work late and leave the office at 8 p.m. On this occasion, they arrived from, let's say, their office. They arrived at the play they arrived at the school at 9 p.m. after the play had finished. So the play had finished. Now, we could jump to the conclusion that the parent may value their work more than their family, and so worked late as normal up until 8 p.m, even though they knew that it would make their child upset if they were not at the play. And so they were unaffected that the child would be upset. Let's use a different colour. So unaffected that child would be upset. People may also conclude that the parent didn't want to attend the performance, as they saw it as a waste of time, or even that it was maybe boring for them and therefore they didn't want to attend. But in both cases they were being selfish. So these could be the sort of conclusions that people could jump to. But in this case, external factors, I'm just going to put them here, external factors may have led to them being late. It could be that there was more traffic than normal, that there was possibly a road closure. So even though they left work on time, they arrived at school very late. It could be that the car wouldn't start. So let's say a car broke down, and so they needed to call the breakdown service to get it started, and all of this took too much time, again resulting in a late arrival. Another reason is that there could have been a sudden downpour, and due to the dangerous driving conditions and low visibility because of the heavy rainfall, they had to drive slower and therefore reached the school much later. Or it could be a combination of these factors. In a nutshell, there could be external factors which could have meant that the parent arrived late even though they had the best intentions to arrive on time. And the judgment that the parent is selfish, lazy, or otherwise would be an error, hence fundamental attribution error. So, how do we overcome this bias? There are three things we can do. Number one, build relationships. When we feel more accountable or more responsible for how we judge others, we become more sensitive to situational factors above personality-based ones. And building relationships achieves this. Furthermore, by building relationships, we also learn more about one another, and so we can get a more rounded picture of other people's behaviour, and therefore we are less likely to make errors by attributing scenarios to personality traits. So in this case, it won't be the family that would say the parent is being selfish or lazy, but other people may jump to conclusions because they don't know the parent in question. And so if they do build that relationship with the parent, they will be less likely to jump to those conclusions. And so by building relationships and or fostering closer relationships, we can adjust our attribution process. Number 2. Empathy. This is simply putting yourself in the other person's shoes and contextualizing their behaviour and decision making against various situational factors. This is difficult. You can't always think that you're going to be able to do that, but it's something that you need to try and learn to do by putting yourself in the other person's shoes and thinking through all the steps they would have to take. So in this case, where their workplace was, how long is the journey, is there a lot of traffic, was there a sudden downpour? By putting yourself in the other person's shoes, you won't just jump naturally to the conclusion that they're selfish, lazy, etc., personality-based traits. And finally, a good one is self-reflection. Ask yourself, why are you thinking the way you are thinking of the other person? So if you are jumping to these conclusions, why are you jumping to those conclusions about the other person? Are you taking responsibility for your own thoughts? And when you go through that process of self-reflection, you are less likely to go down the route of overestimating personality-based factors, which can in turn help overcome this cognitive bias. So through a little introspection, we can be more aware of this cognitive bias and therefore more likely to reduce and possibly eliminate fundamental attribution error. By taking efforts to curb this cognitive bias, one can not only reduce conflicts, but also increase trust with others, which is always worth putting in efforts for. And that is the fundamental attribution error cognitive bias, and that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one with another video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.